That's some good green tea. That's some good green tea. John, what are you looking at? You're just staring up into space.
I'm contemplating, Dave.
Are you contemplating today's song?
I am, Dave. I'm contemplating today's song.
All right. Welcome to another Literalist reaction video. I'm Dave. With me, as always, my good buddy, John Doe. What do we have today that takes so much contemplation?
Supertramp, Dave. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to be a Supertramp?
It would be better than being a regular tramp, that's for sure.
Yes. And we're not even allowed to call people tramps anymore. They're the dislocated, unfortunate homeless.
You know, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a train hobo.
Yeah, that's
Like,
it.
desperately. I thought it was a fun life. It looked fun as a kid.
It looks fun now.
Yeah, I would like the lack of expenses.
There you go. Fending for yourself today. Anyway, Supertramp. We're gonna hear a song from them that is one of my favorites. It came out in 1979 from their sixth studio album, which we've already heard one song from. The album is Breakfast in America. You're familiar with the song Breakfast in America.
That is the Supertramp song I could name.
Yep, and we introduced you to another song from the album. This will be another song from the album, and you should be listening for the Wurlitzer electric piano, the Hammond organ, and what has been described by Billboard magazine writer Gary Graff as one of the band's hottest guitar solos.
All right, here we go.
The whirly.
It was an early morning yesterday. I was up before the dawn, and I really have enjoyed my stay, but I must be moving on. Like a king without a castle, like a queen without a throne, I'm an early morning lover, and I must be moving on. Now I believe in what you say is the undisputed truth, but I have to have things my own way to keep me in my youth. Like a ship without an anchor, like a slave without a chain, just a thought of those sweet ladies as I shiver through my veins. And I will go on shining like brand new. I'll never look behind me, my troubles will be few. Goodbye, stranger, it's been nice. Hope you find a better time. Time to see you, all of you. Hope your dreams will all come true. Goodbye, Mary, goodbye, Jane. Will we ever meet again? Feel no sorrow, feel no shame. Come tomorrow, feel no pain. Sweet devotion, goodbye, Mary, not for me. Goodbye, Jane, just give me motion. Set me free, land in the ocean. No sorrow, far away, no shame. I've chosen every day. So goodbye, Mary, goodbye, Jane. Will we ever meet again?
All right. So far, musically, it's fun. That piano does have a very different sound, and it's neat to hear just that different sort of note styling that it has. Lyrically, I'm torn. I think that this could go a couple of different ways, John. I think that also you're completely frozen and gone.
Still alive out there?
Good. This is
First of all, musically, this is a lot of fun. I really like the way the piano comes in, and it has that different sound. What kind of piano did you say that was?
The Wurlitzer electric. Yep.
The Wurlitzer electric. It has just such a unique sound quality that is fun. It's enjoyable, and it's just a little different. So that is already very enjoyable. Musically, it sort of bops, like you just want to bop along to it. It seems that it makes you feel just a little joyful, like a little uplifted, which is interesting because I have a very different feeling about the lyrics. So far, it evokes in me the thought of someone who is probably homeless. They think about it. They get up early. They always leave. They're like a king without a castle, a queen without a throne. They are constantly traveling, a ship without an anchor, a slave without a chain, freedom images. So they're constantly on the move. They can travel wherever they want. And here's where this is a crackpot theory at this point. Also, funny term of use of crackpot given where I'm about to go. I think that the obviously Goodbye Mary Jane, that's I assume a marijuana reference. I think that he has moved on from smoking the marijuana and he's doing hard drugs now and he's on the move. And that's why he keeps meeting random strangers, because he keeps waking up at random places early in the morning when the sun comes up. And then he's like, I don't know who you are. I guess I'll try to see your point of view for a while, but it's time for me to move along. And then he goes to the next place and tries to catch his next high. That is so far my immediate take of barely around half this song.
Okay.
So we'll see where it goes.
We will indeed.
I feel like I went a little more out there than I usually go.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you drew with a very wide tip marker.
Mm-hmm. And it's how I roll, John. It's how I roll.
Now some they do and some they don't, and some you just can't tell. And some they will and some they won't, and some it's just as well. You can laugh at my behavior, that'll never bother me. Say the devil is my savior, but I don't pay no heed. And I will go and shine, be shining light from you. I'll never look behind me, my troubles will be few.
97%, Dave. 97% of my arm is covered in goosebumps. I
Oof.
love that song.
Oh, that song had so much to love about it.
Yeah.
Not only did we have an incredible guitar solo, we also had a whistling solo.
Yeah.
A tambourine was added in there.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that whirly piano with that very strange and unique sound to it.
And let's not forget the Hammond organ was in there laying its bass. So yeah, there you go. Now you've heard the rest of the lyrics. Where are you at lyrically with it, Literalist?
Well, all right. I have two. I have the lyrics pulled up on the side here. I don't necessarily think that my theory is wrong, but I don't think it's what the writer necessarily intended. So I do think that at the end of the day, you could interpret it the way I said.
Okay.
Constantly, feeling no sorrow and no shame because you're high as a kite. Like it's not. It is a bad way to live, but not when you're high. However, that being said, I will revise what I actually think it's saying. I think he stopped smoking the weed.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think maybe he stopped smoking the weed, and he feels more free and with it in life, and that's why he's getting up early now, and he's being a go-getter, and he's talking to people and getting out there and constantly on the move. Either that's true, A, or, and I think the more likely thing is, B, he every day smokes that weed. And every evening he's like, I'm so great. I'm so happy. I'm so high. I'm having great conversations. I'm getting in other states of mind. I'm getting to know people in various ways. Will we ever meet again? And I think it's like the next morning he's going, yeah, we will. I'm right back. I don't feel sorrow. I don't feel pain. I don't feel shame. This is dope. I think that that's probably what the song's about. Just, it's a love song, John, is really what this is.
Well, it is a love song, but you really hung on to that "Goodbye Mary, Goodbye Jane."
I think that those are odd names.
They just rhyme. Maybe they took you down a drug reference that I don't believe exists in this song.
See, and I think that those are very weirdly specific. The two names are weirdly specific to choose if you're not making any drug reference whatsoever. And if you're not making a drug reference, then the song is I would assume about living life on the road. He goes to hotels all the time, and
it might be a song written about himself because it seems to me to be the story of a man-ho musician.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's not a drug reference at all, then it's a guy living life on the road. He's constantly in hotels. He gets up early. He's like a ship without an anchor. Like the freedom of movement. He's constantly going and moving. So I think if it's not a reference to the Mary Jane of the marijuana, then it would be about his life on the road. Do you have an actual answer? Has he ever said what the song's actually about?
I think that I haven't got it down to where I could find an actual quote from him, but my research, and actually I did look up the meaning of the song a couple of years ago because someone told me they didn't like that this lyrics is about some guy sleeping around and he's all happy about it. And I'm like,
that's also not what
that's
I get
what it's
out of
about. And so I looked into it then. I'm like, well, yeah, it kind of is about that because,
life on the road as a famous musician.
Right. That's just how it goes, right? But there's things like, let's see here, about a guy who is keeping himself youthful by playing the field. Once sex is over, he's out the door. Latest one night stand. He never gets close to any of his sweet ladies, so he says goodbye, stranger, because he doesn't know them. Yeah, and he's aware of his lack of intimacy and his issues there. He refuses to settle down. He's just going to keep going. He's going to ride that train till it comes to an end.
Sure, I could see that too. I still think Mary and Jane were odd choices then of names. I mean, Goodbye Susan works. There's just so many. All you need is a 2-syllable female name, and
Right.
that song totally works. Followed by a 1-syllable female name. So I just don't think that needed to be Mary Jane then if you're not specifically making a drug reference. When did the song come out? Like, well after Mary Jane was a very well-known term.
I don't
for
know,
marijuana.
1979? I don't know that Mary Jane was common in 1979. I heard it first in the 80s.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that's talked about in the 60s.
as Mary Jane in the 60s?
I mean, I wasn't alive in the 60s.
No.
I for sure can't. Dearest viewers, if you happen to know when Mary
The history
Jane,
of marijuana.
what is that? No. Specifically, the history of Mary Jane as a reference to marijuana. I would be curious as to that because, like I said, I'm 36. Like I wasn't around. I can't speak to whether that was nomenclature or not. So I don't know. And like, even if you look it up and it says yes, it was used. Like, but did the average person know that? Is a different thing, I guess. The internet wasn't
Yeah.
around. You couldn't look stuff up. So
Yeah, my quick search there says that cannabis is known by more than 1,200 slang terms.
that makes sense to me. All right. Well, this has been another fun one, John. I have to say, when it comes to fun songs, would listen again.
There you go. Supertramp's made the list again. That's we're 100% right there for the Supertramp.
I mean, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Good stuff. Yep. Tell us where you think we should go with Supertramp. Leave your comments, please, below. Tell us about your marijuana cost, per ounce, whatever. Whatever you want to put out there. It's legal in many states.
My mom said that I'll just put this out there. It used to come in camera. So, I mean, I'm talking to a person who clearly knows the 35 millimeter little cases.
Film canisters.
The
the little
cylinders.
plastic film canisters. Sure.
Yeah, she said that's what she used to buy it in.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
That's as much as I know about it. I mean, I assume you'd have to special order those canisters now.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know where you would get them. But she never bought from me because I didn't sell it in the canisters. I stored it in the canisters, but I never sold it in the
That makes
canisters.
sense.
I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly.